So there's something so dark about the Epstein files that uh, it has Trump saying things that he can't possibly think. Like when he was saying, "You guys are still interested and you're still talking about this Epstein, that creep?" And they're like, "Yeah, that creep, exactly. Like, are you going to make sure that anybody who is compromised, who is controlled by that list, isn't wagging their finger at us, telling us to get in line because you can lord something over the population if they have no idea, like you ate babies or something like that." Now, somebody who protects the anonymity of sex traffickers is also a pederast too. They don't have to be interested. They don't have to be attracted to minors. They can just have a shared interest in covering something up, and then you're a pedophile too. So if you don't want everybody in your administration, like if you don't want them all have the stigma of pedophilia, then you want to. And see, here's the thing. If Mossad want to make friends with China, and fucking the only alternative we have is to become pederasts, so that you can market your technologies to China, and they can with their manufacturing and supply chain and their distribution, basically you would be putting Israeli technology in under high distribution. So we can't allow that to happen. So they have that little, fucking play ball with us or else. And Trump doesn't want them to make friends with China. But that only can go so fucking far if we put everything on blast. And I mean, going back to JonBenét Ramsey, because what if we find out that the grainy image that looked like Ghislaine Maxwell that was at the pageant of JonBenét Ramsey, it was actually her. And JonBenét Ramsey Sr. had the same lawyer as Ghislaine Maxwell, and the reason that they didn't indict JonBenét Ramsey Sr. was the same reasons. They said it was political, and I was back in the fucking early 90s. So we might be thinking like we have to protect the public from finding out that some of the people that we look up to or take direction from may be responsible for even like mistakes that happened, like where somebody like JonBenét Ramsey was killed because Ghislaine rented her out to somebody who was too brutal, or if we find out something like what's his name, that director of Poltergeist or something, where they covered up like somebody was really brutal and she died from complications from an infection from the intestines, because like that is dark as fuck. And I don't know, I mean, just because if people can't handle it, I'm willing to take order and leadership from people who know about this and protected them. Like, you can't say shit. You can't talk shit. You can't say shit, nothing to me or anybody. You can't say nothing to nobody. You're way down there. Somehow you've been exalted way the fuck up here. So that's why we're talking about him. Like, yeah, that creep and everything like that. Shit, they probably destroyed any evidence that wasn't related to Trump, so that Trump is like the only one who's ever like, at Epstein Island. And hey, that's not gonna cut it either. Like, remember the White House boys? That there was a cemetery of little wee ones, and then their little handler that was like a 15-year-old, and he kept getting killed. Like every time they would groom a handler, like he would go out like a madam, basically an arranger, someone who could trust to go and talk to young people who was also a young person. And so they arranged all this, and I don't know if they felt guilty or they thought that guilt was going to cause them to speak up, or later on in life they would become a liability, so they always killed him. the White House boys. I mean, we might as well come with the full fucking bore. The Finders, the group of above average intelligence Mexican children that was a special school that exposed them to deprivation and all kinds of starvation and shit like that, because they were so smart that there was no other way to hone in their abilities unless they like starved them and deprived them, and they were actually part of a LARPing what's it called, a theater troupe that kept supplies of satanic ritual abuse to LARP as Russia, so LARP as Russians, so that they could say that Russia was in the United States in the 1950s. Before, it was like right before Silicon Valley, and they were gonna say that Russia was doing a satanic ritual, selling human trafficking and all this kind of shit. But they didn't need this troop, they didn't need these actors to go actually do it. But they put, I guess, so much training and investing into it that the leader went rogue and decided to do it any fucking way. Look up the Finders, look up the White House boys, look up John Benet Ramsey. What if all this shit's connected? So somebody who gets privy to this information and can protect and make deals and pat people on the back and assure them that they'll, everything's gonna be okay and everything, you're gonna blend in with everybody else, like their leader. And I don't know if we'll ever get rid of all of them. We'll never get rid of them. It's like dying is a necessary means to an end. And, as you would have it, fucking, those people are probably not worth, what's it called? They're not worth resurrecting on Judgment Day. But, I mean, you're not stuck there. We're not stuck here because we can die. We can die. And then whoever's not worth resurrecting, it just won't exist. It just won't be. But, I mean, it's not a guarantee. Like, we don't actually know that when we die, we get to start over away from, like, anybody whose interest is in making children cry. Like, shit. I do feel like I need to be distinguished from that shit, but during my lifetime. After my death, I don't know. Who knows what's after death? You can't, like, I'm rather take over the life and everything in it and kick all those fuckers in the face. Make them choke on ash and dirt in the life. I don't know. Maybe our children's children will do it.